Hello and welcome to the third episode of Grammar and Usage in Cinema, in which I subject a film to a semantic yet cerebral analysis that has been seen by some as being both nitpicky and snide, though I like to think of those people as being neither discerning nor very intelligent. You may have noticed that the first two episodes of this series have been taken down. The reason for this being that some of the comments I made in those videos were seen, bizarrely by some viewers, as being insensitive, incendiary, and brimming with unbridled bellicosity. Those were not the exact words these people used, due no doubt in large part to the limited comprehensive capacities of their respective lexicons. It was not my intention to insult or cause superficial, word-based injury to any or all of the outraged groups and their many Facebook friends who seemed to take fierce umbrage at my comments even though I wasn't even talking to them. As for the myriad things I said in the dozens of multiple responses I made to each and every one of the negative posts in the comment sections and emails sent to my now defunct personal address, I'm sorry that you chose to be offended, and I'm also sorry for the way that I reacted to your barbed, incredibly hurtful comments. I think we can all agree that things got a little out of hand, and that it was no one's finest hour, though some's less fine than others. Yeah. On this time's episode, I'll be looking at the early 90s slasher classic Edward Scissorhands, about an avuncular inventor who somehow whips up a man but doesn't give him any hands. Presumably because the mental capacity needed for the dexterity of motor homunculus functioning may have proved too great for the fragile mind of a pale, leather and buckle-clad, scar-faced weirdo. Instead, he just has scissors. I love this movie. It has the perfect mixture of humour, heart, sexual abuse, and mobs. But the one gripe I have with the film is simply this. Edward Scissorhands. Scissorhands. Scissor hands. It should be Scissors Hands. He has scissors for hands. Scissorhands doesn't make sense grammatically. Allow me to illustrate. Seen here, 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 and here. Edward has multiple pairs of scissors on each of his hands. Both collectively and singularly, these instruments are known as scissors, because that's what they're called, scissors, not scissor.
Scissors, no, scissors.
Of course, one might argue that the word scissor can be used as a verb referring to the act of cutting, which Edward does do in the film. With his scissors hands. He cuts many things. Foliage, doggos and beautiful women's hair, Honey, I Shrunk the Kid's face up. So maybe the title's actually referring to the fact that he has hands that can scissor things. And I think that this would be a completely reasonable line of thought if it wasn't for the fact that he has massive scissors for hands, and for most of the film they are the focus. That's all. Just should be scissors hands. Disappoints me to see the language of cinema be abused like this. Since the taping of this independent, non-broadcast television show, I've learnt that scissor can also refer to the act of two adults rubbing private parts together, their legs splayed and thighs interlocking, which I've always known as pitchforking. Since the taping of that addendum, I've learnt that to scissor refers specifically to females spreading their legs and interlocking, which I've always known as magneting, pony rides, and Thomas Pynchon's wet V.